Okay, so this was the example project that I made for when I taught this project last semester. And I think the most interesting shapes are like the star shapes or like the heart shapes, but a lot of people ask me how did I draw this one? So that's why I'm going to show you how to do it now instead of like when you're actually doing your project. That way you can kind of plan out what shapes you want to use with your word. So I just have this plain paper, right? Yesterday we made our vanishing point in the bottom left corner of the paper. Honestly, for this, you can put the vanishing points anywhere on the paper. So I'm going to make two of them because I think that'll help you understand a little bit more about like where you're placing the star and the vanishing points. So I'm going to make the vanishing point in the middle of the paper for today. And then I'm going to draw a star on either side so that'll make it something that we can see. I think it looks blurry. And it looks dark. I think that looks better. Okay. So sometimes drawing a star it can be like a little bit complicated. You can do it really fast if you're good at that, but I'm going to break it down so that you can draw a little bit more slowly. So when you go to draw the star, right, if you're going to do it on the paper from yesterday, I think a good spot that you could draw the star is like in the corner here, or you could draw the star over here. I mean, honestly, you could also probably fit another one in here, but or even over here, depending on how big you want to make it. Don't make it too small because if you make it too small, it's going to be harder to draw. So for this, I'm gonna start off by drawing a capital letter A. And I'm not using the ruler because when you do your actual drawing for your project, you might not want to use the ruler. So I'm going to start off with a capital letter A. And I'm not going to make this triangle shape too small or too big. Right? I'm going to try and like center it up a little bit when I draw the line in the middle. And then I'm going to make like little arms coming out from here. So like extending that line. And I'm kind of like with my eye trying to make like this line and this line the same length by just kind of like eyeballing it and guessing. So there's my capital A. And I guess if I wanted to do it on this paper too and make a little bit more space, maybe I could fit it here. It's okay if it's a little bit diagonal. It doesn't have to be like perfectly straight up and down, right? Then I'm going to go from the bottom corner and bring the line across from the bottom corner, and I'm going to bring the line across. So there's my star shape, and I guess I'm going to fit one in here because I can make it fit. Once I have my star on the paper, I'm going to erase the lines inside of the stars. So I'm going to erase the lines inside so that I just have a clean star-shaped outline. I guess if you really wanted like perfect stars, I could print out some stencils that we could trace at the light table, but right now I'm just focusing on freehand drawing the star. Are we good with drawing the star? Okay, so I've erased everything, so I have a nice outline. In the middle of the star, I'm going to put a dot. And then like when we were doing the outlines with the converging lines going to the vanishing point, I'm going to make dots on all the corner of the star. So everywhere there is a corner on the star, I'm going to make a dot. Now, I could use the ruler for this if I want to, but to save time, I'm just going to freehand draw all of the lines. I'm going to draw lines from the center of the star that go all the way to each one of the dots. So lines that go from the middle of the star to each point of the star, and then lines from the middle of the star that go to the shorter points of the star, like the inner corners. And that's why I think drawing the star a little bit bigger helps, because if your star is very small, drawing all of those lines is kind of annoying because they're close together. Then to make it look like the surface is more three-dimensional, this is where I wind up shading. So if you pick one of the shapes in your star and shade it in, you're going to shade, then you're going to skip, then you're going to shade again. You're going to skip, you're going to shade. You're going to skip, you're going to shade. You're going to skip, you're going to shade. So I'm going to do this one on my paper too. So by shading it, it makes the surface of the star look three-dimensional, almost like sometimes you see them on like a house. They're called like a barn star. They have like a three-dimensional looking surface. And then this is where we're going to want to use the ruler again. So we've already made corner dots on all the spots where the shape is bent. You can line the ruler up with the vanishing point and go to the corners of the star that are closer to the vanishing point first. And then, I don't really love this one, but I guess maybe I'll try to make this one a tiny bit taller so that it looks better. Okay. And then when you're drawing from the other side of the star, some of the points are going to hit the star, and that's where you're going to stop. And then this one, there's nothing for me to draw because it's going through the shape. So for the one that's on my paper, since I drew this one in the corner, oops, I bumped my nail a little bit, but that's okay. And then you've got some like shooting stars going around your word. And then this one, I don't need to draw anything from these three because they're drawing through the star shape. So this wasn't too hard, right? Because we did all of the letters yesterday, and honestly, I think this was a lot shorter than doing all of the letters. So if you only want to draw one star on your paper or just like one on scrap paper, I'm okay with either of those. And then if you want to color this paper for practice, you can color this paper for practice, but it's okay if you want to just leave it black and white.